Hello everyone. So I would like to introduce you to my latest creation. My Frankenmower, that thing's still going strong, and it's been a good little workhorse. And I've actually got some ideas to make it better, and I'll make a video about that. But enough about the Frankendeer. I want to introduce you to my latest creation. Now I gotta warn you, this thing is so dangerous. I do not recommend building it. Like, don't build it. It's not safe. In fact, this thing is so dangerous, I wouldn't let an ex-girlfriend operate it. That being said, it was a really fun build. Now, I have not tried this thing. And it could blow up, take out my... cut me open. I don't know. So what I did is I'll walk you through it. So, I'll tell you how I did this. I took an electric lawnmower. Now I took a 2-in-1 lawnmower that has the mulching capabilities. More specifically, it turns at a certain RPM, but also it has a mulching or a cutting mulching blade. Now this is just a stickers upside down because the whole unit's upside down. This is just a cheapo Lawn Master from Home Depot or Walmart. I can't remember. So what I did was I took the handles, the wheels, I took all that off, turned the unit upside down, made these little sawhorses out of some scrap lumber, sturdied it up with some cross bracing, took my handle, flipped it upside down, put my start and my safety back on, so that's all there. And then I mounted a funnel out of just a piece of sheet metal that I had, 24-inch sheet metal. I cut it off at about 54 inches long, I think it was. Fastened it inside. So you see I went all the way around so it was nice and tight to the shroud. And you can see all the stupid screws there. I had to cut them off because they were too long. I went all the way around so it was nice and tight so the blade does not contact the shroud. I fastened up my edges. Made a chute facing down. And this is where my bucket goes. Butted up against that little brace there. And it should direct all the whatever I'm chopping into the bucket. Now, another cool feature that I noticed on this mower, you can't see it because it's inside. It has a blower that blows down because it doesn't have a lot of horsepower, so they cheated and made a blower, so it blows your lawn clippings out of the machine. But that is a benefit. So inside, I made a chute that directs whatever I'm cutting to the outside of the blade. So now this has all been sharpened in here, like razor sharp. So now everything falling in here is going to hit the outside cutting edge of that blade. I don't want it in the middle because it's just going to twist and I think it's going to spin around and make a big mess in there. Then what I did is, you can't see it but I will show a picture, is I cut off the little safety flap there to keep you from putting your fingers in the machine or when you're using it in mulching mode. And I will include a picture. I flipped that upside down, trimmed it up a little bit and fitted it inside so it would direct the clippings to the chute and then down into the bucket. So that's all mounted on there, made some bracing there. I even got a little fancy little beer holder here, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so then, see, it's a Barley Killer 2000. And we added some little safety things. They painted some safety, so that's a sharp edge there. It's red. You don't want to touch that. In, out. Danger. Keep your fingers out. And this is to remind me, don't be stupid. So, let's fire this thing up and see how it works. You can see I got this set up next to my bale of hay. Now, the main reason why I built this contraption is because of this. They're wasting that, and they're not even picking through it to get at the fine blades of grass or the little alfalfa leaves. See, that stuff in there is what they're trying to get at. So all this stuff gets thrown aside and wasted, and I don't blame them. It's like chewing up a whole stalk of barley to get at your porridge. No. So we're going to mulch it up for them and make it a little easier to digest. I don't want to do it too fine. I want it still coarse enough that they can kick the smaller pieces out, but be able to get at this good stuff. Now, word of warning, do not feed your animals, any of your ungulates especially, or the horses, lawn clippings, because of the dampness and the gases that come off of it, because it immediately starts decomposing. Can actually kill them, blow up their stomachs, overheat, and send them into a kind of a hay fever. Now, the other thing is you want to be careful, because their little stomach, their first stomach, can hold a fair amount. And with this stuff, they're going to cram that stomach full and then burp it up and do their cud, and then it goes into the next stomach, and so on, the process of the dairy world. So you have to be careful on how much weight you're letting them pack into that stomach. So if you only want them to have a quarter of a flake of hay, you better be sure you know your weights. Once again, don't use lawn clippings. Use dry grass for this, or your coarse hay. Figure out your weights and all that. I'm going to work with my goats because I haven't even tried this thing. And now, let's do that. I don't even know if I'm going to need earplugs. Pushing our lock, pull back the handle, let's see what happens. That is what we got there. Oh, actually, this is beat down real nice. They can get their little tongues and lips in there and really get out the good stuff now without... See, this they're going to throw out. But for the most part, this, they'll eat that and do fine on it. This, no. But I think, personally, that I have a lot more usable feed here than I did before. So I'm going to whack up a bunch more here and see how it goes. next thing I'm curious about is almost every farm has a bunch of this. Now I don't know if that's too heavy to stick through the machine, but I'm going to try it slowly. So this is great, and I'd love to get it on the garden sooner, and obviously the smaller it is, the faster it'll decompose. This is a bale of rotten hay that's been sitting here for the whole winter. And you can see just the edges that were touching the dirt are just starting to decompose. So that's 6 months wasted. Now, if I can get this on the garden faster, that'd mean more dirt, better dirt, faster. So, that's my next experiment, is try running this through the Barley Killer 2000.